folks, and welcome once again to the Tabletop Treehouse, our fortress of imagination.
I love the fortress of imagination. My name's Chris.
My name's Dennis.
Oh, man. So what are we going to talk about today? What door are we going to go through? We got these three doors. We went through the negative failure one.
Yes, we got this one behind you. It's got this kind of Latin text.
What does
here.
it say?
It's Expecto Claris? Claris? Expecto Claris.
I should just get out of the way. I'll just look.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Now we can read it.
All right. We will go through the weird looking, as I'm off screen, weird looking door. I'm going to sit back down now. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
We'll take a look, see what's inside.
Very wet. It was so wet.
It
All that
was
water.
surprisingly wet, yes.
The world of Rapscallion and the Pirate Wasteland. I gotta stop coming up with these wacky places, and you all helped. So
Hey, you give us a blank sheet to draw on,
I did.
and we're gonna fill it with some fun stuff.
So we went to the Pirate Wasteland. That's our Rapscallion Powered by the Apocalypse game that we play in, and it was because my wife Jen, she plays in that game, and when we sat down to work out what kind of game this was, we definitely put whimsical pirate stuff
Yes.
on the list.
Whimsical was kind of top, yes.
Yes. We might have gotten a bit away from that.
There were some dark turns at times, perhaps. Yes.
Yes. Although even with all those dark turns that we had, I guess it was getting a little bit towards like your crew being more not good people than good people.
Despite us being pirates, we were, leaning more towards the worst kind of pirates rather than fun, whimsical pirates.
Setting up MLMs.
Yeah.
Setting up MLMs to try to acquire money to deal with banker pirates, essentially, and also to just be kind of nefarious in your money-making schemes.
Yeah, we went kind of like worst sides of capitalism.
Yep.
And kind of let that run for a little too long.
That some of the characters were like, I'm friends with demons. I don't care about anybody else's like stuff that's going on. I'm just gonna like mess up their stuff while I'm friends with the demon. Like demons infecting other characters like Jen's lovers. Goddess. So Jen's playing the navigator, which is in love with the sea, the stars, and the wind, and they're all literal things in the world. So
personified.
Yeah, personified. So one of the characters, Mike's character, the mountebank, decided to leverage some of his demonic relationships, because mountebanks are like warlocks, to infect the Jen's sea lover. It was bad.
Yeah, it was not.
It's actually created the campaign in a lot of ways. Like there was a lot of like kind of like Monster of the Week kind of stuff going on. Then that happened, and now the season a lot of trouble, and they're trying to fix that.
Yeah, it definitely gave us a path.
See failure states from last week and how it can affect the world going forward.
Yes,
but some of that was bad, and we talked about it. Like it wasn't bad in the moment, but we started like chatting about like how this game feels like it's going down a path that is not whimsical, and Jem wasn't like having as much fun as she could be with it. She just wanted to have that fun pirate story.
Yeah, it just wasn't where we had all kind of agreed we were going at the start. And, that's something that can happen. And, sometimes that's okay if the story diverges and everyone's okay with it. But the whole idea of this game, this table that we were playing at was, hey, it's Friday night. Let's just have a fun, happy-go-lucky kind of evening. Not think too hard about real character troubles, right? You don't want to be going home and staying up late.
Yeah, you don't want to think about this stuff while you're not there. That group is all about it. Like we don't want to think about this stuff when we're not at the table.
Yeah,
really.
it's a fun game, and it's important to remember that as you keep going along.
So the question for this episode then is, what different kinds of tools can we use to get our expectations for our games either set to begin with or back on track when we've lost our way? So there we go. How do we reset expectations over time?
For those of you that maybe aren't totally new to this kind of stuff, obviously a big part of this is just communicate. But the specifics of that, how that communication happens, what tools there are to utilize with it.
You hit one of my things. Role-playing games are 90% communication. It's just about how we talk to each other, right? Like this is just, but any problem in role-playing games can be solved by being halfway decent communicators. Yeah. Not even great communicators, just halfway decent. Just being willing to have a conversation and not be too upset about or take it too personally.
Yeah.
Too upset when somebody says something you don't like and not take it too personally, assuming that people are being reasonable adults. That's a big ask sometimes.
Yes, right.
But beyond that, let's get into it. So expectation. What does expectation mean in general and in this situation for role playing games? And I think it's what we expect out of the game or want out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really simple. This isn't complicated.
Yeah. What are we all sitting down here together to do, to play, to explore? And
the trick is, like you kind of mentioned before, is like you have to communicate that though. And not all the time do games tell us to communicate those things.
No. I mean, sometimes it's, open the box, roll the dice, Yeah.
What are some ways that we can set base expectations? Those starting expectations before we even like really get potentially to playing the game, or maybe we are already playing the game.
Right. Well, I mean, the big one, that I feel like is often written out in the rules, whatever they might be, whatever system you might be playing in, a session 0, right?
That's new. That's newer in the last like 5 to 10 years.
Well, yeah, yes, but I feel like it's definitely become prevalent, right? Like
absolutely.
It's whether. Yeah, regardless of if it's in the books, it's definitely in the zeitgeist, right? It's in the discussions.
It exists in the D&D books now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if Pathfinder or Savage Worlds does. I always come back to Savage Worlds because it's one of those traditional style games that I know a lot of people play.
Yeah,
it's in a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse games. It's in a lot of Forged in the Dark games. It's in a lot of modern game design. Like, it just happens to be there.
Well, and I think maybe old school, quote unquote, game designers, game design from the past, maybe they just assumed it was happening.
Sure.
Like a lot of times these discussions just happen during character creation.
Mm-hmm.
You're all sitting around rolling your characters, and this sort of topics will come up that, we're going to discuss here. But having a codified session 0, so to speak, something that, everyone can sit to, hey, this is our opportunity to figure out what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it gives everybody a seat at the table kind of thing,
Well, let's talk about that for a second. So
yeah.
I do have a codified session 0 that I use pretty much in every game that you've played with me. I know that I've pulled it out. I have like a worksheet.
Yeah, it works well.
Yeah. It is CATS for the most part. It is content, aim, tone, and subject matter. If content is what is the content of the game, what content we're going to have in the game. Aim is like, what is the purpose of playing this game? Like, what is our aim as a group in playing this game? Tone is like, what is the tone of the game? Whimsical is the thing,
as opposed to dark and exploitative.
Yeah. A subject matter is, what are we okay with having in the game, and what are we not okay with having in the game? Like, what are the things that we want to deal with and not deal with, and what's okay, what's not okay? What do we want to explore too?
Yeah.
Like, if we want to explore themes of capitalism and how it can be terrible or good or bad or whatever it is, then that's a thing that you talk about during subject matter.
Honestly, those are most of my bad guys.
What happens when you become the bad guys?
Yeah.
Intended play style. And I think that's a thing that doesn't get put in these a lot. And intended play style is like, if you're playing certain kinds of games, like your more OSR games, like that's more dependent on player skill.
And that's a good point. Yeah.
And while characters, me as a game master, I often will tell players what their characters know, like just straight up without them having to roll or make a check or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, your character is smart enough to realize in this situation what's going on. Did that my phone just? Oh no, it wasn't my phone. It was this iPad.
Forgot to mute one thing.
I did forget to mute the iPad. It's probably going to happen a few times because I don't really know how to turn it off. But my bad. Okay, got me. That's a throwback for those who used to listen to Misdirected Mark. Where was I? I lost my train of thought. We were talking about intended play style.
Yes.
Like that is a kind of play style that maybe some people don't want the game master to tell their players what their characters know. Maybe they want to wait for their characters to ask questions, and then based on the questions that the players are asking in their characters for their characters, then the game master can answer that stuff.
Well, yeah. And if you're doing some kind of more like horror investigative game, it might be prudent to not have the game master, being as forthcoming, right?
That's true. I mean, I do tend to say less things in our Delta Green game.
Yeah.
I do, though, when the players start like poking at things with their characters, I will ask the things like, what is your percentage in a certain skill or whatnot, to see if they actually just get that information.
Right.
Because a 40% in Delta Green means you're pretty competent, like very competent at the thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
You might not have to roll for it, especially if it's not a time thing. But if you have less than that, you might not know a thing. Very gumshoe in that way, the gumshoe system. So that's intended play style. So like, but if we're playing like a Power by the Apocalypse game, like we're obviously being very narrative about things,
right?
Like if we're gonna sit down and play Fiasco, like pretty much all the there's all sorts of stuff on the table because it's basically a storytelling game. There's very few things that alter what can and can't be said aside from narrative positioning and the fictional world that exists around it.
Yeah, as long as we're all in agreement.
Yeah, and whatever we wrote down on the cards that sit between us and the dice that we have in our hand, if we're showing black or white dice for the positive or negative outcomes. Like there's not a lot of mechanics, so it's a lot more storytelling. So we have to agree in that one shot situation that it's all on the table.
In something like that where it's more open ended, put parameters in place if you need.
Yeah, that's what's safety tools. That's what those are for.
There you go.
Yeah, that comes up in subject matter too. Is like the safety tools that you will be using.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. If you're like a old school person, you're like, get out of here with the hippy dippy stuff. I'm like, I like the hippy dippy stuff. It lets me do things that I wouldn't normally be able to do and push on boundaries that I normally can't push on because we've talked about it.
Yeah.
And even when I do start pushing on boundaries that I shouldn't be, that I'm subject to, that are subject to possibly being difficult, I even do stop and ask, like, are we okay with this? Like, I do the check-ins.
Yeah, table check-ins are always helpful.
This is a whole other conversation that we'll have at some point in the future. Yeah. We'll do the safety tool conversation at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth, it gets a short mention here. Absolutely, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We also do character concepts. That way everybody kind of like knows what their deal is and the game master knows so they can start working how they want to have their campaign. If that's what you do with your game, that is what I do with my game. That's why it's there. And then how characters get involved into what's going on, right?
Yeah, what's the hook, so to speak, right?
Yeah. And then you have character creation. The other version of that, though, is like you don't have to have a detailed version of that thing that I just said. Like I have like a list that I go down. You can just, like you said, we're just gonna have a conversation about what do we want this game to be like.
If it's a table of your friends and you guys have been playing for a long time, there's a good chance you already know everybody's approach to the game, to the table, to the group itself. And during character creation, you'll be able to kind of organically work through most of these topics.
Yep.
And if you don't hit one or two, if you're a, cohesive table, you're going to be able to deal with it in the moment.
Uh-huh.
Probably, again, organically. But these tools are there for if you're, running a table for public, you're at a game store maybe.
Could be for your friends too.
Could be for friends if you're bringing somebody new in, but also just to kind of give everyone an opportunity to see how the sausage is made, so to speak.
Yeah,
like a look behind the screen before the screen gets put up.
I call it like a nice solid foundation to build your game on top of.
Yeah.
Like you start playing and you at least have this thing that you can like attach yourself to when you need to.
Yeah.
Like you understand some of these things, so it's easier to get into the play. There's a conversation that I've had with many people about how it takes them like 4 or 5 or 6 sessions to get into a character and into a game. If your sessions are 3 hours long or they're 4 hours long, like in that's generally the space. Even if they're 2 hours long, that's 8 to 12 hours of play that it takes you to figure out what your shtick is.
Yeah, what's your level of involvement?
Yeah, man, like cut that. Anything we can do to cut that down to get to that flow state, I suppose, of how we feel in gaming, it makes for more enjoyable gaming, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't find it that much fun to figure it out and have it take me 4 or 5 sessions to figure it out.
No, I don't want to be figuring out who my character is when we're fighting the big bad.
Yeah, not only that, I don't want to figure out who my companion's character is 4 to 5 sessions down either.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Because it helps me play off of them if I know what their kind of their deal is.
Yeah, and like a secret reveal or whatever, that's fun and all, but no, having no concept of why are we adventuring together?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a past that I'm aware of?
Yeah, right. And that answer could be yes or no.
Right, yeah. But then at least you know where to work from, right?
Yep, and then you can play off of that person more effectively.
I'm going to roll an insight check. Is he being weird?
Mm-hmm. and the game master can like craft around stuff and improvise around stuff too.
Absolutely.
Game masters have to improvise. We just do. You can prep as much as you want. You're still going to have to improvise. That's just the part of how gaming works.
Start listening to jazz.
Start listening to jazz, yes. Work that skill. It's important.
Yeah.
Just throwing that one out there. We could talk about that in the future too, I suppose.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a topic one day.
There is another way for setting base expectations, and that's just start playing the game.
Right. And you know, a simpler game is obviously going to be more approachable this will be a more sensible approach for something like that.
I don't even know if you need a simpler game because it's not about, to me, like if everybody knows how to play Dungeons and Dragons and you just start playing Dungeons and Dragons, but nobody talks about who their characters are. It's just like, cool, we're going to start in a tavern.
Yeah.
Right.
In media res, so to speak.
And it's like people, maybe you don't play with these people all the time, but you've played with them before or whatever. Whatever the situation might be, even if they are people you've played with all the time, there might be friction at some point in time.
Right.
Because people might not understand what's happening or what's going on exactly, or might not have the same vision. And that's part of role-playing games, is getting on the same page.
Well, yeah, it's what is each individual, like what is the reward they're looking for, whether in the game or at the above the table, so to speak. Like, are they looking for a lot of combat? Are they looking for social interactions? Are they looking for, I just want to find a shit ton of treasure?
Yeah.
Like,
and what if you're the one that's looking for a bunch of social interactions and I'm the one that's looking for a bunch of fighting?
right.
And we didn't talk about that beforehand.
And then we're, 3 sessions in and we're like, well, why are we always in so many fights? And why are you always talking to everybody?
Yeah, exactly. But that just means that you can have that. It's not a problem. You're just going to need some conflict resolution tools at your table.
Yes.
Whatever those might be. I mean, the X card is a safety tool, but it is also, I like to use, it's called script change. It's got a pause, a fast forward, and a rewind button on it. And there's some other things you can add to it. It's a great safety tool. You can find these things online. The pause kind of functions as an X card, but you can also like modify it to not just be a safety tool, but to be a communication tool, being like, can we just pause the game and talk about this for a second? We've been in like 3 fights in a row.
Right.
I'm kind of tired of the fights. I mean, you can do this in debriefs too, but you can do it in the game, or you can pause a fight in the middle, towards the end of a fight when there's still like 3 goblins or whatever. Maybe we should stop using goblins. Three mud monsters on the table, and you're obviously going to win the fight. So like, can we just like skip the rest of this? Like, do we need to kill all of them to the end of their last hit point?
Do I need to see this played out?
Yeah, like is there a reason for it? Like,
or not that we ever really got there in the Rapscallion game, but there was maybe the potential for it where like one of our characters, as opposed to Jen's, like maybe we were about to do something that she really didn't want to see at the table.
Yeah,
that would have been a good
having that tool there. Yes. She could pause and be like, I don't know how I feel about this.
I don't think we should be wantonly slaughtering this. Whatever. Fill a situation in at your leisure.
I know that she didn't want the crew to destroy any more civilizations.
Yeah, well, we started.
That means they destroyed at least one civilization. They did.
And yeah, now there's some coral.
There is some coral. But yeah, that reason. Like she could have been like, let's not do that.
Right. I don't think we ever actually got to that point. It was more after the session kind of thing. Hey, can we get back to the whimsy?
I mean, I'm so trusting of the people that we play with on Friday night. We don't have a lot of in-game tools for that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, we're comfortable enough with each other, I think, where you don't need the card. You can just say, hey, wait a minute.
And everybody's so aware of the fact we've been playing together. Like this group has been playing together for like 3 years.
Yeah.
We're so aware of the fact that we're going to have a stars and wishes at the end where people can voice a complaint if they want.
Absolutely.
That sometimes people don't have to worry about getting it over in the middle of a game or anything like that because they know they're going to have a chance to speak, which is a thing, right? One of the reasons why you might want to do that. But having those things or protocols in place for just start playing is useful, whatever they might be. We just mentioned one. There's probably a billion other ones out there.
Yeah.
There's a thing called the OK check-in. You can just modify these things. The OK check-in is to see if you do this so you don't break the flow of conversation. For those who are just listening to this and not watching on YouTube, watch it on YouTube, by the way.
Watch on YouTube.
You put your finger up in a circle with like the 3 fingers, doing an OK symbol. And that way people can just
Thumbs up.
give the thumbs up or a thumbs down or nod their head left or right. Whatever you decide those symbols all mean, there's a whole like lexicon of ideas around it.
Yeah.
But that is a way that you can do that in game. As players too, you can give the symbol or like whatever you want to use to like, we should talk about this, or we need to stop after this scene so we can have a discussion, whatever it is, so that you can all be on the same page.
Precisely. Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's about being on the same page. All these things are about how do we get on the same page.
Right. We're all here to enjoy the game together, tell a story together. We want you want to make sure you're telling a similar story at the very least.
Yeah, or at least all having the same kind of trying to get the kind of fun that you want out of it.
Right.
Which is important. Like these are hobby recreational activities. We want to have a good time. Yeah, man, you can just have a general conversation too. We mentioned it kind of earlier, like the not detailed version of Session Zero.
Yeah, it's more, like I said, it's kind of more organic.
You don't even call it Session Zero. It's like we're making characters like, hey man, what kind of game is this?
Yeah, like maybe we'll get to the tavern and killing a few rats today, but let's do characters. Let's talk about what the world is.
Yeah, man. Are we dungeon delving?
Right.
Are we gonna have like a town that we can go back to? Is there gonna be a chance to like talk to human beings, or is it really just be like we go and we kill monsters in dungeon, explore places, avoid and discover traps, see wondrous things, and then go sleep in our tents, and then just do it all over again? Which that's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
that's fine if that's what you want.
Yeah, and that's a simpler game like that doesn't require as much, maybe ahead of time, right?
Yeah, because especially if that's all you kind of need to say.
Yeah,
and then whatever happens, the story evolves from there.
Yeah, and I think if we haven't mentioned it, Session Zero is also a good opportunity for the GM to be, this is the theme, this is the tone, this is whatever, however specific you want to get with it. It allows you to then say, if you're not comfortable with that, I'll be running something else in another couple weeks or a month, right?
Yep.
Like find the players that fit the story you want to tell. If you have something specific you want to do.
Oh, I'm with you. Like I am that game master. I 100% agree with you. I mean, every table will have a different set of parameters for stuff like this, because if you're just playing with the same 4 or 5 people all the time because they're your friends, then you will have to find some wiggle room, right? Like for like how to make sure that everybody's having a good time. Or maybe somebody can just opt out for that particular game and be like, cool, we're gonna probably play this for like 12 sessions, which whatever that works out for you, that could be 24 weeks if you play every other month, every other week, and really that's more like 40 weeks because eventually games will get canceled and
somebody's got to go to a game, and
so that person can have a year off.
Yeah,
or you can have a different, like you can find that time to run your 6-session game of this thing that you want with some different people.
Yeah, if you have the kind of ability and bounty to pick and choose players, so to speak, a Session Zero is really handy for that.
Super handy.
If obviously if you have your core group and you guys play, whatever it is you're interested in at the moment, still going to be very beneficial. But
maybe
you'll
not
just
as
know each other better, and maybe not quite as needed. Yeah,
I'm with you. We should go to our fantasy sponsor, so we'll be right back after this word from Hoof and Hornshine.
Enjoy this, friends. All right, folks. Cower Hosel here with you, with Ragnar the Rough, ready to go into the 13th annual Mino Brawl, sponsored by Golden Roundup.
Yeah, Golden Roundup.
At the Tri-Stakes Arena here.
Love the Tri-Stakes Arena here.
Ragnar, how you feeling today?
Oh, I feel great, Coward. I feel great. I can't wait.
You think you're gonna just match up against your opponent Dorian Hoof today?
Dorian's going down. I'm gonna put that hoof so far up his face.
So what do you attribute your recent successes to, Ragnar?
Hoof and Hornshine, my special cream that makes my horns glow with the shine that you need, and my hooves shine up when they're stomping people's faces into the mat.
That's right. The last shine a Minotaur will ever need. Before the charge, before the clash, before the horns meet steel, make sure you shine.
That's right.
Folks, that's all we got for you here today with Ragnar the Rough. Get ready for the outstanding brawl in the arena here. Nobody miss it. Get your bets in and have some fun.
Make sure you get your Hoof and Hornshine goods from our Redbubble store.
Keep it shiny.
Let's talk about check-ins. Check-ins are another way that you can set and reset expectations for your game.
Yeah, it's another table tool essentially. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We Stars and Wishes all the time. How do you feel about Stars and Wishes?
I think it works really great. I've also heard it in the past. Well, so this wasn't even in a gaming situation. Back when I was in Boy Scouts, after a hike, we would do Roses and Thorns.
Roses and Thorns is absolutely a thing that used to happen in role-playing games, and it got a lot, and some people still use that in their games, and they got modified to Stars and Wishes.
Yeah, and I think Stars and Wishes it makes more sense because
I hate when the ATVs come driving by the magical treehouse. It just drives me crazy.
Damn hobgoblins.
Benny's okay.
Benny's a good man. Benny's a good man. Yeah, as far as Stars and Wishes, or like I said, Roses and Thorns. I from what I remember when we would do it as Boy Scout, there was always this weird thing where you felt like, oh, I have to come up with something negative. Like if you have something negative, it's good to have an opportunity or critical. It's good to have somewhere to bring it up. But when it's kind of like, oh, I have to come up with a thorn, this feels weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just the verbiage of Stars and Wishes I like better.
Which, for those who don't know, stars are the things that you really enjoyed about a session. Not just if you're a player, it's not just what you enjoyed about the game master. It's about what you enjoyed about everything. Like what other players did, what was cool about the game, moments, all that stuff. And game masters give stars to the players too, and whatever else happened in the game. Wishes are those things that you would like to see in the future.
Well, in either category, so to speak, you can have those critical thoughts or opinions or moments or whatever where, yeah, if there's something in the game that's not quite gelling with
that's what wishes are for.
What you thought, the path was going forward, that's your opportunity to bring it up and let the group know, like, hey, I thought we were being whimsical pirates.
Yeah. I wish that we could be back to being whimsical pirates.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure that was the way that it was stated.
Yeah, that does sound kind of verbatim, yeah. I think it works very well. And yeah, like there's I'm sure there's a number of variations on that theme, right?
I mean, I guess there are. I don't know how many there are. I know there's roses and thorns and stars and wishes, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm
just assuming
folks,
other people have called it other
yeah,
things.
Somebody tell me. Leave a comment, please.
Yeah, if you call it something else, let us know. Maybe I'll like your wording better.
Mm-hmm. Post-game emails or messages is a way that you can go.
Right.
Or you can also use some sort of like community platform like Discord. By the way, you have a Discord, you can join it. And no shameless plugs here. Facebook Messenger, if you want to use that. Whatever you do to communicate with each other.
Yeah, whatever your chat, social network, whatever you're using to plan your games, to schedule things. Usually you can use that as an opportunity for check-ins and kind of post-game analysis sort of stuff, right?
Here's a wild one: anonymous surveys.
It's an option. Not a huge fan of it.
It's an option.
I've seen it more in like public online games where it's just it's some looking for group off there off Roll20 or something.
I'm not a recommender of anonymous surveys. I can't recommend it.
No, I can understand the approach from the DM's point of view. Again, depending on the kind of table you're running, but I'm not a big fan.
I think that the idea is that hopefully, as a game master, you'll get better feedback if you get solicit anonymous surveys. But in reality, what you're doing is not. If they give you feedback, how are you going to apply it? Yeah, how are you going to implement it because you don't know who it was?
Yeah, unless it's completely general to the game at large. Yeah, and I guess maybe if you were doing it maybe at the end of a campaign,
maybe, or
a group of an arc, whatever. I don't know. Not a big fan, but
it's there.
It's a tool.
You could do it. If you had success with that, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah,
well, the hobgoblins are back.
They must smell the cookies.
I know, right? I wonder where Keebly is. I'll find him later. Anyways, you could also private message or have a private conversation. This is really good for people who aren't comfortable with speaking out in a group. And there are people that have that problem. I've run into them. So
yeah, and whether it's if as the GM you notice maybe somebody at your table is acting a little uncomfortably or being a little quieter maybe than usual even. Think about reaching out. Don't be, overbearing or, too direct. Maybe just say, hey, wanted to check in how things are, how you're enjoying the game. Is there anything, you were hoping to do?
You can do that as a player too. If you know somebody that's uncomfortable at the table, it's not just the game master.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Not just the game master's responsibility. It's
honestly,
everybody at the table's responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody should be responsible for everybody else's comfort, enjoyment, and fun. I find that to be a good way to go about it.
I'll be honest. A little bit of shame here. I don't think I've ever actively thought about, well, no, that's not true. I do in the moment, but as a GM, I've taken it more as an onus of I need to make sure everybody's enjoying themselves. And then when I'm a player, I'm like, the GM's got it.
You're just like most of the people.
Yeah.
You're not like that, good on you.
But no, it was very illuminating. So yeah, well said.
Those are the check-in kinds that we have. We mentioned some of the other ones like the OK check-in. There's like all sorts of tools that you can utilize for this.
Find what works for you. Again, I feel like Stars and Wishes. It's
my favorite.
Yeah, it works very well. But any amount of this kind of post-game check-in, as formal as you need it to be or as in-depth as you might need it to be. Sometimes. There might, even if you're doing it every week around the table, there might not be too much one week. Maybe everybody had fun, but there's nothing specific and the game's going well. So there's no wishes. And All right, cool. Let's keep rolling.
Keep on moving down.
Yeah.
There is a thing that I wanted to mention about these ideas too, about like stars and wishes and these check-ins and these when you're talking to people and you're just asking them these general conversations you can have too about like what are you enjoying about the game.
Yeah.
These are the things that people are excited about. That is one of the reasons to do stars. It's because the expectations that you're asking for, the expectations you've set are working, right? Or if they're excited about certain things that are slightly outside of your expectations, then you know that maybe that's more of the kind of stuff that they might want to see in the future. So then you can start sliding the game's tone and even potential play style in slight ways based on what the stars and the wishes are.
Yeah.
Because people might get bored with what's happening or people might not be enjoying it as much, right? Whatever that case may be. It's another reason to do these kind of things. All this stuff that we're talking about, same deal. It's how to reset expectations.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing to mention before we move on, if you can do this stuff at the end of arcs too, you can like re-session 0 at the end of an arc.
Yeah, like if the situation has changed in such a way where, maybe it was a high fantasy, high magic world and they killed the magic god and there's no more magic.
Well, now you really do have to have a conversation
Yeah,
about
like,
how this game plays.
That's a definite new session 0.
Hey, wizard, you don't have spells anymore.
Right, yeah. But even more mundane stuff.
It's a big swing, by the way. I love it. Somebody should tell me if you've done that. It's a huge swing. I'd be curious.
But even if it's something more simple, like this next arc is going to be on the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
You're sailing.
That's a shift.
Yeah, like it'd be good to. What sort of things do your players want to see while they're out there? Do they want to have combat? Do they want to fight pirates?
Do you want to have a list of like what sailing terms are on the table?
Oh yeah, right.
So you know what the bosun is, and you know what aft and fore means. what a bulkhead is.
Starboard and port.
Yeah, those things. Boy, we screw that up all the time.
I'm a boatswain.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Are you not have you not been the boatswain at times on the ship?
No, aren't the monkeys and the goats the
Oh,
boatswain?
that's true. You're 100% correct. My bad. See, that's how much we know about boating. Not much. And it's called sailing, I think.
And
not even boating.
Honestly, I don't think it's pronounced boatswain. I think it's boatswain? Bosun?
The
bosun?
Bosun. Yeah,
yes, bosun. It's spelled weird, but it's pronounced even weirder.
This is where we're at. This is why we don't record that game and put it out for public consumption. Failure to meet expectations. When we have failed to meet expectations, that's what we're going to talk about. How do we know we failed to meet expectations?
General feeling around the table is one of the earliest indicators, I would say. Like I said, maybe when the players has started getting a little quieter, when usually they're more involved, more active. Anything like of that sort. It's
when they're more involved and active, that means it's good. When they're not, it's bad. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they've stepped back from being a more involved player in a single situation, it might not be anything of untoward. But if it's continual over time, it's definitely something you want to check in with them and with the table as a whole.
When you really know things have gone wrong when nobody shows up.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
And I don't mean when nobody shows up because everybody had a wedding to go to. I mean when nobody shows up like 2 or 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
You might have made a mistake.
And that's a tough pill to swallow.
They might have made a mistake too.
And, there's certainly the chance that, that can be a scheduling thing. It's a good indicator that, somebody's not enjoying themselves at the very least.
Yep. So that is the thing. So that's how we know when things don't feel right, when people are not as engaged with what's happening, when people stop showing up to your game.
Yeah. And if you're doing these,
and by people not showing up to your game, I mean the players too. It's the players' game too. So people aren't showing up to your game. You're a player. It's your game too.
Yeah.
So what do we do when these things happen, Dennis?
Use the tools that we've gone through, right? Do the check-ins, whether immediately at the table when you're first noticing these things, say, hey, this is the situation we're in. Is everybody, on board? That sort of thing. In addition to, do those end of session checks, whether it's stars and wishes, whether it's just a general convo, whether you're texting folks, giving everybody that opportunity to speak up, to if they have something they want to voice, whether in support or, in criticism if need be. Having that platform is good and it's important.
Yep. Use them tools.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
From the player side, I feel like if you're not getting what you want out of this game, you should just chat with the game.
Yeah.
You can chat with the other players too if they're the reason that you're not getting what you want out of it. But I feel like if you're using the tools, or you have tools, you should just use those to get what you want out of this game, whatever it is. And you just ask the question, like, is this what we are playing? Like, I thought this is what we were doing. That's not you don't want to be accusatory. Which is why I was like, I think this is what we were doing. Am I wrong about that?
Right.
That way you're not putting it on anybody else. And if they say, yeah, that's not what we were thinking, then you can make a choice about whether you want to continue on, or you can ask for a shift. Then the discussion goes from there, and then you can make choices based on that.
Right.
And that way we don't have to be passive aggressive. We don't have to be rude. We don't have to be mean. We can just be adults.
Yeah. You don't have to ghost a table because you're not having a good time. You can talk it out. Hopefully, you can shift the table, the GM, yourself enough to enjoy that time again. But if not, then at least you're doing it with the full knowledge of things, right? Mm-hmm. Just reacting to emotions, so to speak, can often get you in trouble.
Yes.
Well, not in trouble, but you understand what I'm saying.
It can cause friction.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, players, absolutely talk to your GMs, talk to your players, because I mean, by and large, everyone at the table is looking to have a good time. Like, nobody's there. Hopefully nobody's showing up looking to ruin everybody's day.
Man, those are the people that you need to identify quickly and
not invite back.
Yeah, or
have a real serious conversation.
Show them a better way.
Yeah,
like show them a better way, or don't invite them back.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but
no, like
some people just want to watch the world burn.
Ideally, that person is not playing at the table, and everyone's there looking to enjoy themselves.
I mean, I hope that's an edge case for most people. I hope most people are just getting together to have a good time.
Yes, right.
And their good time isn't ruining everybody else's good time.
That does sound like an interesting character concept, though.
Ruining everybody else's good time.
Like it again, if the whole table agrees it above board, like, hey, I'm going to play this guy that really just wants to screw everything up for the whole party all the time.
To what end?
I don't know, but I feel like it could be fun for a few sessions.
It could be fun for like 2 hours.
Yeah, I got maybe just as like a character before you introduce your real character.
Sure.
Like, here, I'm going to be this guy just so you guys can kill them all off.
Just give him give him a connection to like the god of curses or capricious. Yeah, something like that. It's like, I once a day I have to do something like this that ruins everybody's good time.
Yeah.
Otherwise my god will smite me.
Right.
At least there's a story reason for that. Then
it works. I'd allow it. Allow it.
And if I do it, I get a pretty good boon for the whole party.
Yeah. See, now there you go. I get an extra free bless a day.
Now we're playing a game, right? Like, everybody's like, oh, we're gonna benefit from this at some point. All right.
Fine, steal my coin purse.
When I needed it to pay for the thing that we need to progress the scenario.
I can't afford the boat. Shoot.
But the goblins, they're right on our butts. They're just tax collectors, but they're on our butts. We don't have any money anyway. All right, last thing. Some games that do this really well. There's just one set of games that I want to point out because it's the one that I know does it exceptionally well. If you want a good example of what a Session Zero setup looks like, any of the Carve from Brindlewood games, Brindlewood Bay, Public Access, The Between, there is a very well laid out version of their cats in there and their Session Zero and what it looks like. Is what I've modeled a lot of my stuff after and, expanded upon that. But if you're looking for a solid example of that, I would suggest picking up one of those games.
Definitely good suggestion there. They definitely exist in other systems.
They do.
They're touched on in varying amounts of depth. And yeah, if you have one that you think really does it well, feel free to shoot us a message, let us know. Would love to check it out.
D&D's got Session Zero stuff in there now.
Yeah. With the updated, they've started throwing that in. I think it got maybe a brief mention throughout, its history here and there, but it's definitely more codified now.
I mean,
the newer system.
The newest version of it is the most codified version of I've seen in a D&D book.
Which is good. Yeah, it's great to see.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's been our show. This has been the Tabletop Treehouse. Thank you so much for being here.
It's always a great time to have you folks here at the Treehouse. We love it.
If you'd like to talk to us some more, you should join our Tabletop Treehouse Discord. We talk about games in there. We talk about the show in there. And we would love to see you in there chatting with us. It'd be a great time. It's free. Just find the link in one of the many places that will have the link.
Link.
If you want some more content from us, you can also join our Patreon. We are offering an extra show called Game Talk. That's where we talk about the games that we play in, which we play a bunch of them together, but we play some that are not together.
Yeah.
And also, we put out a PDF and maybe some other things, but definitely a PDF once a month of the magic item that you heard in the ad earlier. So there's a PDF of Hoof and Hornshine. And what it
Get
does
shiny.
is it's got some properties. It might turn you into a Minotaur if you apply it.
Ooh, that sounds very exciting and advantageous.
Mm-hmm. Just for a short time.
Just in case you need to get your, business going.
Mm-hmm. We designed out Ragnar the Minotaur. You actually did the design of Ragnar the Minotaur, so that stat block is in there too. And there's a bit of a story about Ragnar and how he came to be making Hoof and Hornshine.
It was fun to flesh out. Ragnar's a complex individual.
There, so you can get that PDF too. Also, we have a Redbubble store, which we have a bunch of merch on there, including like the Hoof and Hornshine logo. You can buy it on t-shirts or whatever, but also the Tabletop Treehouse logo and Judge 20, which hasn't shown up just yet.
Well, that's probably for the best. So, I mean, at least, probably for the best, right?
Probably for the best. All right, well, with that, we hope to see you here next time. I look forward to talking to you all some more.
Folks, have a safe trip down the ladder. Catch you next time.